but sperm whales are among the strangest of this group. Sperm whales are the largest toothed predators in the world. They live in tight social groups and are one of the most widely distributed marine mammals on the planet. They live anywhere there is deep water, from the poles to the equator. They venture deeper than almost any other mammal, plunging into the dark abyss in search of their elusive and giant squid prey. They dive so...
You're watching me make myself a purse with my original character Molasses. Just a few moments ago you saw me burning molasses on a piece of leather. It was a little bit tricky burning molasses butts on a piece of leather because you can't really mess it up because you can't erase it. Plus, the molasses butts are curved, which makes it more difficult to burn than if I just were to burn straight lines. I decided to use black leather for this bag because I think it'll look good with the beige tones of the molasses portrait. After cutting the parts of the bag there, I pre-poked the holes so that it's easier that way to stitch it onto the bag. Then I put the bag together by securing some parts with glue and hand stitching it. Later in the video, I will make a lining and decide to be a little bit extra and to stitch molasses onto the pocket. So I would have a secret molasses inside the bag just for me. Then I'll cut the strap, dye it, and attach it to my purse. Alright, I think it's better to show not tell, so I'll leave you to it, and I'm going to plant some broccoli seeds while you enjoy the rest of the footage, rambling free.
For the empire.
Of the fall of an empire, by the Soviet Union. Ideologically rejected the idea of imperialism, but the reality is that it looked and acted like an empire.
The 1920s.
There was a centralized authority overseeing expansion and control of a collection of republics and satellite states, where movements for autonomy were suppressed.
I don't understand that, don't want to touch it. Or that limiting to your design, I get that. But you'd be really surprised once you check out some projects, get acquainted with the process, and
themes they're running through it, which are a lot about like diversity and inclusion and discrimination and like, you know, self-actualization and following your values and being the black sheep. Those aren't campy themes. Those are like heavy themes, and they really wanted them to be taken seriously, but then they paired it with this very like campy, yeah, I mean, I'm sure lots of people, like you said.
I like to think of myself as at peace. But when I took that mushroom, I was angry. I was just so angry about everything. I was angry about even Doobie barking, because she sometimes barks at other dogs, like incessantly. She's a small dog, and at some point we were on the beach, and there were some dogs playing on the beach further down. And I was like, nah, this mushroom makes me... My wife and brother-in-law were like, and I was feeling...
On like your DSLR, you will probably know how to use this. It's a little different. It's hard to explain. I would recommend watching someone else's video to learn how to do manual. But I got this for my black and white photography class at the ICP, and they taught me how to use it, which is very useful. Yeah, this is definitely the most complicated.
When your project calls for bold creativity, design
Hundreds in a year. The beaver doesn't chew through the whole trunk, just enough to make the tree unstable. It then retreats and lets the wind do the rest.
And I like making the coffee myself. I have an espresso machine, so I'll wipe down my countertop. Maybe I'll, reorder every day, like the dishes or cleaning the cap.
Founded in the late 13th and early 14th centuries along the Rio Grande, it is the largest and oldest continuously inhabited pueblo, with 5-story north and south houses. Recognized as both a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a National Historic Landmark, it remains the only living Native American community with such honors. The adobe structures, built between 1000 and 1450 CE, have changed little since the Spanish arrival in 1540 and are still maintained through traditional practices to preserve the settlement for future generations.
Did a lot of like boot camp classes, a few months, and I kept doing it over time. I actually did a lot of research when I started going a lot on whether or not it's even healthy. Use some broccoli and throw it in it and mix it in, or if I needed a vegetable with my
Oh, thanks, love.